Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Hoops Pod NBA with myself, King, and Justin. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in the NBA Finals. So we're gonna be here to discuss that. We're gonna be here to discuss the Knicks Pacers game that's gonna happen tonight as well. Who wins? We'll see. Could the Pacers win and advance to the finals? We shall see. Can the Knicks force a game six back in Gainbridge? We shall see. But people, on your way in, most importantly, like the video and subscribe to King's channel in the title. Justin, I did leave a link to his channel in the last stream, but to be fair with you, that was not that's not his like he's not gonna upload any videos. I actually found your channel and I actually linked it to yours, but listen.
I saw I saw that. I was like, wait, I don't do video.
Sorry about that, but anyways, it is what it is. But leave a like and subscribe to King's channel and my channel. Let's get to new milestones. Let's get me to 300 subs before May ends. May ends tomorrow, people, or the day after tomorrow. So please, in 2 days, 25 subscribers will do. But let's chat first. OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Both, you wants to start? I mean, they've just been by far the best team in the NBA this season. Like, if we're looking at it from a standpoint, we're looking at it from just like from an outsider perspective, they've just been the clearest team to be in the finals this year. They've swept pretty much everyone, aside from the Nuggets, obviously. But you guys want to give your thoughts? King,
Kane,
Justin,
I'll let you go first on this one.
King, go first.
I'll be honest. Going into it against the Timberwolves, I didn't expect much from Minnesota because outside of Ant, they don't really have much. And seeing what OKC did to Jokic and the Denver Nuggets as well, being able to stop him, being able to have rotations where they have either one of their bigs available, and this playoffs has shown me that rebounding and being able to protect the glass has been the best thing for teams, and I think OKC do it better than anybody else. And I just think they just have too much for the Timberwolves. I think it would have taken a miracle for the Tims to get something. They would have needed more from like Randall, more from Nas Reed and them. And I think just the OKC just clamped out and Edwards didn't allow him to shoot. And dominated really. And then in this last game, they were up by 30 for most of the game. So it was to be honest, the Western Conference Final was them versus the Nuggets. That was going to be the team that they had to beat to make sure that they made it all the way. Because on the other side, fortunately, they didn't have to face LeBron and Doncic, and they didn't have to face the Warriors. Because I think if the Warriors went through, maybe that would have been a more tougher matchup. But Steph got injured, things happen, and yeah, they're through to the finals. Obviously, it's deserved. They've been the best team in the NBA, so yeah, good for them. But I'm annoyed at how uncompetitive these conference finals have been. I feel like it's I haven't enjoyed it as much as I thought I would. But maybe
Thank
that's
you.
just because OKC is much better than Timberwolves. But go ahead, Justin.
What were you saying, Akevin?
Thank you. I agree with you so much on the NBA playoffs this year. It's been crap. Thank you, King. You finally agreed with me.
Not the early rounds, but this round's definitely been boring. The conference finals. But that's because teams have had injuries. That's the thing. The two best teams in the East had injuries. They're out. Some of the better teams in terms of the Timberwolves side had injuries and are out. So I didn't have what it was taken. So yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we're in a transition period for the NBA. We're trying to find who are the teams that we should want to watch in a consistent basis.
Justin?
I don't know. Besides the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals where the Knicks choked, that's pretty much been the only competitive game that I've seen from from these last two series. Obviously we knew belts to ass was gonna come for Game 5 to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but uh, I don't know. I told Akovin on this on the last stream like it was gonna be Thunder in 5. Okay, well I didn't expect it to be a 40. I didn't expect it to be a 43-point blowout.
Tell,
What were
we
you saying,
we
Akovin?
tell me about it. That for me should have been a much better series, man. That was such a poor series to watch. I didn't even watch any of the series, bro. I'll be honest with you. The only games I watched were games 3 a bit and games 4 a bit. I watched the game. I watched game 4 towards down the stretch. I watched the whole fourth quarter. That was a class fourth quarter. Honestly, it was a very very good fourth quarter. Like just, I wanna. Sorry, Justin. Just finish off what you're thinking about the OKC Thunder first.
Hey, all I can say is SGA. That's all. That's all you can say.
Have the Clippers made the biggest blunder of all time now? Forget Luka Doncic's trade. Is this the biggest blunder of all time? Because they traded bare picks to OKC. They traded bare picks, yeah, and also got and traded SGA away for Paul George. Bruh, tell me about it. Is this the worst trade in NBA history? Has to be, right? If the OKC Thunder end up winning the championship, this has to be the worst trade in NBA history.
No,
Because
not necessarily.
the Clippers gave away what was theirs. And the Clippers could have had Kawhi and SGA in the exact same team, but guess what? They traded for Paul George. And what's happened to Paul George? He's now in the Sixers. So what's actually happened?
The thing about trades and about Shea is I don't think Shea becomes the person he is in the Clippers. That's the thing.
Okay.
You have to look at how each teams are better at dealing with young players. And I think if you're in a group with a bunch of young players and the focus is on growth and improving the players and not a now mentality that the Clippers have, Shea is much more to become a better superstar in OKC because he has less eyes on him because he's not in a big city, less distractions because he's not in LA, and a more of a focus on his basketball rather than if he's at the Clippers where there's other things that could distract him and reduce the potential that he has. I mean, there's been many stories, even if you look at a recent documentary about the Gilbert Arenas shooting incident and the player that ended up the other player in that incident. He went to LA and he couldn't handle it. There's certain people that can't handle being in the major city, the distractions, the type of people you can get around. So I feel like in terms of that situation, no, it isn't. It wasn't a bad trade per se because that's what they needed at the time. But it was a great trade for Shea because sometimes you need to be in a small market in a smaller town and just focus on your basketball and become the superstar you want to become.
Yeah.
So for him, I think him at the Clippers would have been a worse player. I don't think he would have got to these heights, and he wouldn't have propelled the Clippers to NBA Finals. I don't think that would have been the case.
Sorry, Justin, continue, bro.
Oh no, I was pretty much done. But everything that Kane just said about the trades, I 100% agree with. You, you want to know what the worst trade is, though?
Yeah, I do.
Julius Randle to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I actually don't think so. Timberwolves.
No, I think so. No, I think so. Here's the reason why: because Karl Anthony Towns is injured in a must-win Game 5 for tonight's game against the Knicks.
He's not tonight.
It's tonight. Yeah, he's injured tonight, and he's questionable to play. So if you don't have Cat, you're done. I'm sorry to say, but you're done. So the worst trade I think is Julius Randle to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I don't blame you. That is actually a really bad trade as well. I can't lie. That for me was also a terrible trade. I don't understand why the Timberwolves would even think about trading away Cat when they had such a good core. Bro, I can't lie. If Cat and Ant was playing together again this year, Timberwolves are finishing top 3 for me. Not even top 3. They could be in the NBA Finals, bro. They would. Do you know what it is? I kind of wish now that OKC versus Denver was the Western Conference Finals. I'm sure we all do, right? But not just that. The fact that it could have been more competitive with Cat in this series, 100% would have been more competitive. Because you have Rudy Gobert getting the rebounds, you have Cat doing the scoring, you have Anthony Edwards doing his magic, bro. That's gonna be a good series right there.
I also want to bring up one more thing though. Oklahoma City has only lost one time to an Eastern Conference team, and that was Cleveland. Where's Cleveland now?
Out.
So it doesn't matter. It won't matter who plays the Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals because they're 2-0 against both teams. So,
but I was just gonna ask you this question as well. Yeah, like, do you not think that the OKC Thunder have? Do you think they've been the best team this year?
They're the best team. Period. They have no competition.
Because they come out of the West, which is the strongest conference for me, if you ask me. It is the strongest conference. Like if we're looking at it on paper, not just on paper, but if we're looking at it on like from squads. If you look at everyone's squads, like the West is stacked. The West is stacked. The Celtics and the Cavs are injured right now, with uncertain futures. So who knows what's going to happen next year to both those teams? Who knows what's going to happen to Celtics and the Cavs? You know what I'm trying to say?
The Cavs will be fine. They'll still be a top team.
Yeah, Cavs will be fine. The only problem is, and Aikman, we talked about this. We don't need to be the top. We don't need to be the top seed. All we need is just to get into the playoffs, and we're fine.
Yeah, of course. The Celtics have a good team, anyways. Like I reckon next year we'll have a good team. Like people are thinking, oh, the Celtics are going to make trades. Yeah, but we're going to make reasonable trades that will help us be a good team still. Like I trust Brad Stevens. I trust this Celtics team to make good trades. Brad Stevens is the reason why this team's a champion. Forget just like Joe Mazzulla. Brad Stevens is the reason why the Celtics became NBA champions last year.
Yeah, you know what's so funny? Yeah. Not to switch up sports here, but in the NHL.
Yes.
In the NHL, Florida Panthers are in their third straight Stanley Cup Finals. Third straight.
They lost the previous one.
They lost to the Golden Knights. They beat the Edmonton Oilers. They're pretty much about to play the Edmonton Oilers again.
It's a rematch of last year. Is this another Warriors?
So what this pretty much is telling me that are the Florida Panthers actually going to become the first team since the Lightning to repeat? I don't think so, because I think the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid is going to get revenge on them.
I hear it. Shout out to my guy Rasta. Hope you're well, bro. We did a stream earlier today. If you haven't done so, check it out.
With that point, this brings me back to the Celtics. No one, well, besides Celtics fans, and trust me, I wanted to repeat, but no one had us repeating this year. No one. Everyone had Oklahoma City win the finals. Everyone had, and until the Luka Doncic trade, everyone had the Lakers win the finals.
Yeah, bro. All these Lakers fans that were saying you win the championship this year, I never saw it. I'm sorry, I never saw it. I ain't seeing it next year either, bro.
So what is the narrative going to be when Oklahoma City wins the finals? Oh, Oklahoma City is going to be the first team in 7 years to repeat? No, they're gonna go through struggles. They're gonna have injuries in the playoffs, and they're probably gonna get bounced. They're probably gonna get bounced. And the same thing can be said for the Pacers and the Knicks if they win the finals.
Yeah. Especially with the West as well. The two teams that are going to be a problem next year in the West, if they make the right moves, are Dallas and the Lakers. If they make the right moves, there'll be problems in the West. Because Dallas got the number 1 pick, so you're looking at a team that could consist of Anthony
Give
Davis.
it to the Boston Celtics. Give it to the Boston Celtics, please. Nico, if you have one more on you, give it to me. Give it to the Celtics.
No, he's not going to do that. But
you just never
Anthony-
know this guy, man. You just never know this guy. You just don't know what he's gonna do.
It's gonna be a good move for the short term. In the long term, it's not gonna be so great. But Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, that's a free man step that you can trust.
Could they trade for Kevin Durant though?
No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think they've already made a dumb trade. That would even be a dumber trade to go for KD.
Imagine having Luka, AD, and Kyrie in the same team. GG's.
No, but they got Cooper Flag. They don't need Luka no more. They got a younger, more robust version of Luka coming in Cooper Flag.
I don't
know. Dallas is probably talking to the Celtics for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, and I would do PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford is actually a good trade. If you deep it, bring in Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, you're having a really good shooter in PJ Washington, and you're having a good defensive player in Gafford. So that's a good trade, in my opinion.
So,
and you see the Warriors trade I sent you, King.
Yeah.
The Celtics Warriors trade, the Buddy Hield one, for Porzingis and a few other guys, Gui Santos or whatever these guys are. Buddy Hield, you get Kuminga as well.
Kuminga's definitely moving on. I think he's going to move on because I think he has an issue.
I think we get Kuminga because I think Porzingis might leave. So I think if the Celtics are going to trade, we trade for Kuminga, and Kuminga is going to be a solid player for us. He's going to be a really good player for us. And trust me, people will say, "Oh, the Boston Celtics are going to fall." We're not going to fall. We ain't going nowhere. When Tatum's back, fully fit.
I have a question for the both of you.
Yeah, of course. Go on.
SGA just won the regular season MVP and the Western Conference Finals MVP. What do you think the chances are he becomes the first player in a long time to win all 3 MVPs?
I don't know.
I think he does it because I think OKC will win it comfortably. The problem with the 2 Eastern teams, and we're gonna get onto it, is this: the Pacers don't have any superstars like that.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Knicks is they have a coach that decides to play their starting 5 every single minute of every game for the whole season. So they're tired. The Knicks starting 5 is tired. You could see it. They're tired. They're injured. They're all probably playing on 50%. That's why they're losing to the Pacers, because Pacers was all gas, no breaks, and the Knicks, they're just tired. They look tired. If you look at them, they look tired. Why are you playing your starters even when you're blowing out teams up until the end? Was it Thibodeau or what's his name is? He's a fool.
I was only laughing, Kane, because when you said all gas, no breaks, I thought you were gonna be like Jacob Patu.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
And just saying,
that's what the Pacers are, and the Knicks are just fools because obviously they got a coach that just uses their starters too much. I think the Knicks need to go for a new coach.
His name is Tom Thibodeau,
But yeah. But that's the thing. That's the problem because it should be the Knicks in the final compared the 2 teams. But it won't be.
Sorry to interrupt you, bro. But we'll move on to the next series in a bit. Yeah, but I'll say this right. I don't think the Knicks have any issues with Tom Thibodeau. I don't think Tom Thibodeau is a problem though. I don't think he's a problem.
He's overusing these players.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's an issue. I will say this though. Because the Knicks have been to their first conference finals after so long, and he's the head coach in charge. I think the Knicks give him another chance, and you should, because the Knicks haven't been in this position for so long, bro. You have to give credit to him. Like, yes, the Celtics threw away 2 games, but they won when it mattered. And credit to the head coach. Credit to the head coach. In tied games, he was the reason why they won those games. He managed them so well. They'll
never win with him. They will never win an NBA Finals with him because of the overuse of his starters.
I think he's doing a good job with the roster he has compared to, let's say, the Celtics. If the Celtics were fully fit, right? If Cavs are fully fit, if Bucks are fully fit, like you can't really do much with the roster that's been done dirty by the front office for so long. The Knicks front office has done them so dirty for so long. The Knicks have never had a good opportunity to get to a finals till this year. And in my opinion, they should be in the finals. I don't know why. Like yes, we can credit the Pacers. I'm giving my full credit to the Indiana Pacers, right? But the Knicks should be in the finals. This team against the Indiana Pacers, I'm sorry, Brunson, the best fourth quarter player, he has not showed up in the fourth quarter. He hasn't. All right.
And you know why?
Why?
Because the coach has tired out his players. He's gassed them out. If
maybe
the thing about basketball is 82 games plus the playoffs. So by the time you get to this point, the amount of minutes these players, especially for the Knicks, the starting five, had the most minutes in the whole of the NBA. 4 or 5 of them are in the top minutes. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna be tired. They're gonna be injured. You're gonna you lose Cat, which you lost for 5. You're going up against the Pacers team, who probably towards the end of the season rested their players, rested when they were blowing out teams, which Tim Thibodeau didn't. So what happens when you face them in the finals? They're fresh, ready, hungry, wanting to prove the doubters wrong, because they got to the conference finals last year and people said it was a fluke. And you got Halliburton, who's a superstar who wants to show he's that level. But then what do you have with the Knicks? A starting five that's tired.
It wasn't a fluke like that. But the fact that the Knicks...
I do want to... I don't mean to interrupt any of you.
No, school. No worries.
So I did want to bring this up. They released the schedule for the NBA Finals. It's going to start June 5th at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then there's going to be 2 days off. And then Game 2 will be Sunday. Game 3 would be Wednesday. Yeah, that's about. And it's just gonna go days after.
Imagine the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals, though. After the Celtics and the Cavs were tipped to go to the finals, bro. Just imagine that, though. Like, not discrediting the Indiana Pacers, but bro, what this playoffs, right? What this playoffs could have had. We could have had a Celtics. We could have had a Celtics Cavs Eastern Conference Finals. We could have had a Lakers Warriors Western Conference Semifinals. We could have had a Lakers Celtics NBA Finals, or Celtics Lakers NBA Finals, I should say. We could have had we had so much potential to have such a great end of season, bro. This is not a great end of season. I'll be honest with you. I don't hate the teams I don't hate the teams all like that. I don't hate the Knicks like the extent that people do. I just hate their fans. The Knicks have a good team. I don't like the Knicks fans. The way they're treating other people is disgusting. The way they're treating Pacers fans, Celtics fans on the streets, it's just absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't condone violence. I don't condone all that shit. Yeah, I understand it's banter, but banter can be done lightly. This is not light banter. This is just hurting other people for no reason, right? Knicks fans should not be doing this. But at the same time, I don't hate the New York Knicks team. I don't hate the team. The Minnesota Timberwolves team, I don't hate it. OKC, bro, they built this team. OKC built this team over the course of 5 years. Bro, Mark Daigneault has been there since 2020. He was coaching their G League team, bro. You know? So the Thunder have deserved so much credit, bro. Like, look at where the Thunder were 5 years ago. Bro, they were nowhere near the level that they should be that they are right now. They were nowhere even in the conversation for even being in the playoffs, bro, 5 years ago. Then they traded for Shea. Then they traded for then they got those draft picks. Remember one time we were talking about 17 draft picks in do you remember that? We were having the conversation about having 34 draft picks. OKC. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they made the right moves. That's what
Williams,
when you're rebuilding, that's what you got to do.
Lou Dort, you drafted J Dub, bro. They had Josh Giddey at some point. They traded him, and they got Isaiah Hart. Bro, they have such a good team. Defense, bro. Alex Caruso, winner with the Lakers. You know, so So this Pacers team, this Thunder team, this Thunder team has been built over the course of 5 years. Give credit to Mark Daigneault. Give credit to their front office. They built this team so very damn well. As much as you can hate SG, as much as you can hate what he does on the court, as much as you can hate whatever it is, his team around him is unreal. And it's full of talent that are not even in their prime. If imagine these guys in their prime. Imagine Jalen Williams. Sorry, Jalen Williams. Imagine is it Jalen Williams? No. Sorry, my bad. Who was it again? Williams in his prime. Imagine Jalen Williams. Sorry, excuse me, Jalen Williams. Imagine Jalen Williams in his prime. Imagine Lou Dort in his prime. Imagine SGA in his prime. He's not even in his prime years yet. It's not in his prime yet, bro. Imagine J Dub in his prime. Imagine
they won't have them all in their prime. That's the
problem.
Will,
you know, I think they will.
No, the money in the NBA means that you have to, once you start paying these guys, especially once the ones that you have on smaller contracts, and once they want more money, they'll move on.
I don't think all of them will be there, but I think Chet Holmgren will be there. I think SGA will still be there. I think Jalen Williams will still be there. These guys
they've got a short window. They've got a short window to succeed. I think this is a season where they needed to succeed. Next season they've got a window, but then every NBA team has a 3 to 4 year window where they can be successful. But then it gets to the point where these especially in SGA, because he's an MVP, he's getting the big money. And once you get the big money, that means you have less to pay the others. And then the others are going to look around and say, okay, where can I move to make the most money? Or where can I move to have the most comfortable time? Especially for some of these young guys, they may want to move to LA, Miami. There's better cities than Oklahoma, if I'm being honest. So they've got a couple years to go ahead and maybe get a back-to-back, a 3-peat if possible. But as we've said many times, 7 years straight, they haven't done that. There's not been a team that's gone back-to-back because it's very unpredictable when it comes to NBA. And in terms of when you get players injured, if they're going to be available all next season, are they going to be playing at the same level? You never know. And also what other teams do. Dallas getting Cooper Flag, that can be a big thing. What LA do if they get a big man in, especially with what they have as well. The West is always going to get stronger, and even Houston Rockets, they're a team that's going to lick their wounds and come back again. So OKC need to win it this year because next year's not promised, especially the way the system is. It's just the way the finances work. It's not the big three era anymore. It's you pay 2 guys and then you build around them 2 guys, and they're gonna have to decide which 2 guys they want to pay big money, and the rest of them are gonna have to move on at some point once their value becomes a bit higher, and at that point, then that's when you're gonna see a completely different team. But they built something special. They need to win it this year, win it all this year. They proved me wrong because I didn't expect them to get this far or to get to the finals. I didn't expect them to get past Denver or the Clippers if they faced them in that round. And once they did that, they made light work of Minnesota. They're in the finals, and whoever they face from the East, I think they'll be the favorites going into it, and they can win it in 5, really. But yeah, this is the modern day NBA. I think it's not. That's the only issue I have is that it's not that it was a not very competitive West Coast finals, considering how competitive the West Coast is. That was the only thing that annoyed me. But yeah. But on the side part, big up to Donzi and Rasta, and yeah, smash the likes.
Yep, big up to Donzi and Rasta. Yep, people do smash the like button and hit subscribe to both of our channels. King's links in the title. Mine is right here. So just click subscribe. We're getting so close to 300 subs, people. So you know what to do. Just subscribe, and obviously leave a like in the video as well while you're at it. I agree with your points, bro. This is their time to win the NBA. I think they can still do it again next year. There's still a good chance they can do it again next year if the Thunder keep it up what they're doing right now. And also I do agree with you about the window where players are not going to want to live in Oklahoma for a long time. It's not going to be the best place to live. I agree with you, because there's places like Boston, Los Angeles. There's places like San Francisco. There's places like Cleveland, Chicago. Who Chicago will be developing soon. They'll have some good they'll have a good team soon.
Yeah,
Phoenix maybe.
guys want to go to Texas
New
or
York.
Florida as well, especially
Ain't
when it comes to taxes as well for these guys. They want to go to
Yeah.
places where the taxes are less as well. So,
Mm.
and it depends on the type of personality as well. Some of them want to be in a bigger city where they have more, fun times, and
Don't be surprised if you see
also because they travel a lot, they see other cities, so they know which cities they like.
Don't be surprised to see Chet Holmgren wearing Boston Celtics green one day. Don't be surprised.
You never know. You never know. And
Boston,
teams are always going to
Boston,
make moves.
Boston is title town, bro. And anyone want to join Boston? Boston's a lovely place. I've been to Boston many times. It's a lovely place to be. Like, I reckon they could choose Boston. Like a lot of people will choose Boston, Los Angeles. These two places are the two places in the NBA where
I would say New York more than Boston.
I don't know because the project in New York ain't as enticing.
It's not the project. I'm talking about the city.
Oh,
People want to live in New York.
I'm talking about project wise.
Then project wise, you're looking at maybe a Cleveland, a Houston, as you can maybe, or even LA, because once LeBron goes, there's going to be money there.
I've seen it plenty of times in Boston though. They've built a lot. They built around the draft pick so well. So
Golden State's going to be another place soon that's gonna have a lot of potential.
I think when Curry leaves, when Curry retires, the project won't be as enticing because they're only there because of Steph Curry.
It's going to be a new project, and there are people that want to go to. Put it this way, because it's in a sunny place, San Francisco, nice city, Golden State, and all that. People will go there just to live there, and also you can become the guy that makes them the team again. That's what people look at as well, is being the number one option on a team. Some people don't want to be the backup. No one wants to be the backup dancer. Some guys will look at Shea and say, "No, I'm better than him. I don't want to be backup dancer." So that as well.
Don't forget Boston though. Boston will also be there.
Yeah, but Boston also already have their 1 and 2.
I'm talking
what
about
you're looking.
I'm talking about the role players.
Yeah, some guys don't want to be role players though. They want to be the 1 and 2 in another city. There's going to be 1 and 2 options available elsewhere.
I think Denver could be a good place as well because Denver when Jamal Murray or if Jamal Murray gets traded, right? Yeah. Somebody's gonna want to be Jokic's number 2.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Let's move on to the Knicks and the Pacers game. Game 5 in Madison Square Garden. This is the Pacers' destiny. It's their destiny. This will be their first NBA Finals since 2000, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. It's been a long while.
It's going to be 2000, right? When the Lakers beat them in the finals in 2000, I think, if I'm not mistaken. When Reggie Miller was still playing. Reggie Miller took them to their very first NBA Finals, man.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, if it wasn't for Malice in the Palace, they would have gone. They would have done big things. So, yeah, 2000, you're right.
Yeah, 2000. And Kobe and the Lakers were just too good back then. So I don't think the Lakers were just. I don't think they could have done much to the Lakers, because the Lakers did their job. But listen, at the end of the day, the Pacers now have a good team. I don't know if I'm rooting for the Pacers to win the championship or not. But against the Knicks tomorrow, I mean, do you know what I want? I want a Game 7. I really, really want a Game 7, bro, because I kid you not, these playoffs have just been absolutely dead. And this is not me saying just as a Celtics fan because my team are out of the playoffs. But it's just in general, like, there's only been one Game 7 so far since the first round, bro. Since the first round, there's only been 2 Game 7s, bro. 3 Game 7s this year in the playoffs. 3.
It happens sometimes. It happens. But there isn't going to be a Game 7 in this. Pacers winning it tonight. Bye-bye, New York. No cap.
I think Knicks are going to win tonight. I think Knicks will win tonight, and the Pacers will win in 6 in Indiana in front of their fans.
Nah,
That's
who
what I
cares
think.
about their fans? Win in New York, and let them go unhappy, and then destroy the city. That's why if I'm a rival of New York, I want to beat them at their home. I want them to cry at their home. That's what I want. I want it to be a fire drill in there. I want to be up 30 on my way to the finals, and I want Halliburton to do that again when he hits the dagger.
Man, I wish it was the Celtics in the NBA Finals, man. God, but it's okay.
What could have been?
What could have been, bro? Should have been, man. Honestly, really, what could have been, man? Because if the Celtics had won games 1 and 2, we'd be in the NBA Finals by now, in my opinion. I think we'd be there by now. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but we could have been there. We should.
I mean, I said it before. You've diverted to 3-point shooting towards the end of games, and then derailed 2 20-point leads. So
if we were up by 20 with 3 minutes to go, those games are over. But 20 minutes but 20 points with like a whole fourth quarter left is not done.
Yeah, but it's on you really.
It is. I've already said this many times. The players have a lot to blame for it. And listen, this team will still come back strong. If only these players could take a fucking pay cut, man. If only Porzingis could take a pay cut. If only Drew Holiday could take a pay cut. Because these players are still very, very good. Like
I'm getting rid of Porzingis, Pingus, Tingus. He did nothing in the playoffs.
But Drew Holiday is still a very, very good player. He's still very
good. But you can get a younger, better version of him.
I don't know who I can think of, bro. I'll be honest with you. I can't really think of anyone that's.
I believe in Brad Stevens to make the right decision.
Cole Anthony might be a good player.
Yeah, there's options, and there's people, and there's places that would want Drew Holiday as well. So you can get good value back from him.
But we can't afford to do a sign and trade though. So apparently this is what happened. All right. I know we're diverting to the Celtics here, but this is what I saw the other day. Yeah. This is
wait, before you talk about the Celtics, can I quickly talk about the Pacers?
Yeah. I just need to bring this up really, really quickly, bro. Just need to bring this up really, really quickly. Yeah, hold on. Just need to bring this up. Just give me 1 second. So apparently, this is what's gonna happen. We have no change. Celtic salary with next season with no changes is $231 million.
Mm-hmm.
Second apron level is $207.8 million. Celtics draft picks 28 and 32. Celtics free agents Luke Corner and Al Horford. The penalties of being over the second apron are significant. Can't aggregate players in trades. Can't do sign-in trades. Can't draft picks frozen at the end of first round 7 years into the future. If you are a championship favorite, you absolutely cannot be over the second apron. Celtics need to share at least $25 million in salary this summer. Shams is only reported. JT's untouchable. Jaylen Brown $53 million. Drew Holiday $32 million. Porzingis $30 million. White $28 million. Sam Hauser $10 million. Peyton Pritchard $7 million. And potential. I don't know, man. I just think. Yeah.
Yeah, Drew and Porzingis are gone.
But White, Brown, and Tatum stays. You think that?
Yeah, them men stay. They actually, they bought out.
Pritchard will stay as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, Pritchard would stay. He'll still be your sixth man. You'll probably. What you need is a big man, and you need a forward. I think no, not a forward. You need a guard. That's what you need. You need a big man and a guard.
No, I agree. We need a guard. But anyways, moving on to the Pacers. You want to say about the Pacers? Sorry, bro. Go
on. They surprised me. I'm happy that they surprised me, and I like the way they play. I didn't expect that. It's the similar thing with OKC. This is more shocking actually for me that they've got this far. That they're one game away from the finals. I thought the Knicks was going to do it, if I was being honest, because I think Knicks had the better start in 5. But then at the same time, I looked at the Pacers squad overall, and it was like, it was. So I just think for Indiana, a city that hasn't had a lot of success, it's good. And Halliburton has shown that he's not a star, he's a superstar. He's come of his own. He's hit some big shots during this series and had big moments against New York. And It's looking like it's going to be a Pacers OKC final. Are they going to have a chance against OKC? Maybe. I think if you make it to the finals, then you're good enough to be there. Obviously, they. I believe so.
OKC
I believe so.
It's complete.
You never know what could happen. Injuries, you never know what can happen. There's a never say never when it comes to sports. If you told me that this year well, I'll talk about football. If Crystal Palace, Spurs, and all these teams won trophies, like if you look at sports in general, it's never a blanket statement. If you told me these were the 4 teams that was going to be in the conference finals, I would have laughed in your face. So I don't really know what's going to happen. OKC are the favorites, but that doesn't mean that their success is guaranteed. And I like the way Indiana play ball, but it's going to be very difficult for them. And they need to, and for me, I think they need to win it tonight. I think they can't afford to give OKC any extra time of rest compared to them. So they need to get New York out of here, do it in their hometown, hit the choke celebration, and then bounce on. And they have Siakam, who's been here, done that as well. They got Halliburton, who's making moves. They got 2 good big men as well. So yeah, they've got a lot of things that can stifle OKC, but OKC has been the best team in the NBA this year. So we'll see, but who knows? Are Knicks gonna make it one more game? It as Justin said, it's looking like Cat is out, and if Cat's out, then I don't think it's gonna happen because your starting 5 for the Knicks will be Mitchell Robinson, and all you're going to see is at the end of every quarter is him getting hacked and him missing free throws. So if they do that, game over.
Yeah, the Pacers also live and die by the 3. They're also a team that loves to jack up threes as well. But at the same time, they're so good at it because they actually move the ball so well. Like in transition, they're actually a solid team. But the Knicks, they don't do well in defensive transition. That's the problem with the Knicks. They get caught so easily because one mistake and they're done fast break. The Knicks are done on the fast break. There's no one that can sprint back and make a really good block down the other end. Cat's not fast enough. Mitchell Robinson's not fast enough. Whereas with the Pacers, you have Miles Turner who can chase down a block. You have Aaron Nesmith, who's a dog, by the way, who was traded by the Boston Celtics. You know what? I'm actually starting to think about it now. He's actually starting to be a kind of regret trade because I'm a bit like Aaron Nesmith was actually very, very good for us. We shouldn't have traded him. He was in the NBA Finals with us as well. Don't forget that. People are forgetting he was in the NBA Finals with us. So yeah, but about that, man, like honestly, it's just I really, really like this Pacers team as a whole. I think they're so complete, but the problem is that they tend to choke when it matters, and you've seen it before, King. Last year, the Celtics games, they could have been up 3-1 in the series if we're being honest. If I'm being honest, they could have been up 3-1. The Pacers had game 1. The Jaylen Brown hit an insane shot that should be hung in the Louvre, by the way. It should be hung in the Louvre. Let's just be honest with you. That shot should be hung in the Louvre. I'm sure every fan knows that. Yeah? Right. They choked that game quite hard. Right? Game 3, 18-point lead in the third quarter. What happened? Celtics became clutch. Drew Holiday clutch. Won us the game. Game 4, same scenario. They were up. The Celtics came back and won. Because you know why? The Pacers choked under pressure. And this is the one thing that the Pacers team has not dealt with yet. Pressure. Because pressure's off them tomorrow.
No.
Pressure's off them tomorrow.
They've dealt with pressure. I think if anything,
no, they have, but compared to
last season, that's the one thing they're better at. They've been the team that's been controlling the fourth period. They've been the team that each series has hit the tough shots. And also, I think them choking to the Celtics last year helped them progress to this point. Sometimes you got to lose to succeed. So
I hear you. Excuse me. But at the same time, yeah. But
they haven't choked this year.
They still have it in them too. And they've not been to an NBA Finals before. So it's a learning curve.
Neither team has really.
True. But OKC have been there before as a franchise. They've won a championship before. The players haven't. But
not these players. OKC
just
didn't
think
win it last time either.
I just think OKC with the momentum they have with them throughout this playoffs, they've just been that team. They've just been the team that I just don't see anyone beating them. I'll be honest with you, like the momentum's carried on. They've destroyed everyone, bro, in so many games this year. I don't remember one game where the Pacers completely ripped someone to shreds. I don't remember. I don't remember one game. Or maybe it was the Bucks game. One of the Bucks games that they completely ripped to shreds. But I'll be honest with you, other than that, I don't remember many games. The Pacers have gotten through games. They've clutched out games. They've not actually destroyed teams like OKC have. OKC have destroyed Minnesota. They've destroyed Denver in some games. They've destroyed Memphis. So they've completely wiped them all out. You know what I'm trying to say? OKC have wiped pretty much everyone out, even though they took Denver to a game 7. They, for me, are the favorites to win the finals. And for me, I just think the Pacers will do it back home. I think the Pacers are going to the finals regardless of what happens. I'm still saying the Pacers will go to the finals, but I just think the Knicks might want to give their fans one last run out, and they'll go lose in Indiana to the Pacers, and that will be the end of the New York Knicks, and that's when they blow it up, in my opinion, because this team has been there for such a long time now.
Who?
They need the Knicks team.
They're not gonna blow that up. They just need to improve their backups.
Because
Really.
no, because they don't have depth, bro. That's the problem, and salary might be an issue as well. Salary could be
They'll
an
be
issue.
all right with salary. They all got friends there.
Because Josh Hart's gonna demand a huge salary soon. That's gonna be Cat when his contract runs out. He's gonna demand, you know. So a lot of so the demand will be there, but no, I just think the Pacers are just slightly. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna really give too much thought to the NBA Finals yet, but I'm gonna say Pacers in 6. What are you saying, King? You saying in 5?
Pacers and 5. They haven't actually gone past game 5 at all in the Eastern Conference.
So they pretty much won game 5.
Yeah, they duppied the Heat in 5, and then they duppied the Cleveland in 5. So, and they're gonna do it the same way.
Justin, what are you saying?
Wait, King, the Pacers played the Bucks in round 1.
Oh my bad, wrong team.
Sorry, Justin. Let's continue from everything we said.
No, the Pacers. Bro. No, the Bucks. Yeah, Bucks. My bad, wrong team.
Sorry, Justin. Continue from everything we said. Like, just give your thoughts on Pacers and OKC, Celtics, or whatever. Because I mentioned the Celtics for a bit. I just want to hear your thoughts on that as well. And I want to hear your thoughts on, obviously, a bit of OKC and their run to the final. How they've smoked everyone pretty much, and also Pacers Knicks. Just give your thoughts on all that.
No, everything that you guys said I agree with, but I do agree that I think this is Oklahoma City's year to win the NBA Finals because, like King said, and like I said, these past 7 years there hasn't been a repeat champion, and I've been saying this, and I'm gonna keep on saying this because what's going to happen when one of these teams win the finals? They're not going to be looked at the favorites to win the title next year. They're going to be looked at like, oh, are they a fluke? Was this title a fluke? Like until somebody can repeat as a champion, they're going to always be known as a fluke. Except for the Celtics, we got a history as champions, and the Lakers, they got a history as champions too. But to a team that's winning their first title in franchise history, if you don't win a title again in next year, then you're a fluke. So my final prediction for this: Pacers in 5.
Sorry, I was on mute there. I didn't realize that. Just give you a quick thoughts on the Boston Celtics and what we said about them, because we have a lot of, trades and stuff to make. But just give you quick insights and everything.
My quick thoughts are Drew's gone. Porzingis probably not, but I think Drew's gone. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll get into more of that when we do the Celtics end of the season.
Fair enough. I'm saying Pacers and Sixers. I think the Knicks will have one more game in them at home just to say goodbye to the fans, because this season's been a good season for them in my opinion. They won the beat the Boston Celtics championship, so they can hang that banner they like. But anyways, Pacers and 6. I won't be surprised if Pacers win tonight, but I'm just gonna say Pacers and 6 just to change it up, just to change it up. But that's been us for today. I mean, we don't have much to talk about. We're just talking about two series with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Actually, no, sorry. Let's start with the Timberwolves. What do they need to do now? Because the Timberwolves are out of the playoffs, right? What do they need to go and do in the offseason now? What do they need to go and do? Because Chris Finch, I've questioned his ability to coach many times. I questioned him in the Lakers series. This guy he got lucky. Plenty of times he got lucky in that Lakers game, in that Lakers series. He got away with a lot. But what do you guys think the Timberwolves need to go and do now in the offseason? Because I think the Timberwolves need to make a few moves surrounding.
They need to get Anthony Edwards as Robin. He doesn't have his second man. Julius Randle isn't good enough to be a second man to AE, so that's what they need.
So Ant-Man and Bobbin then.
Forget Robin. They need a Robin.
They need a Robin. They need a Bobbin, not Robin.
Yeah, that's right. Well, whoever the name of the guy is, yeah, the second guy. Because Randall isn't good enough, I think, consistently enough for him to be that guy.
Steph Curry. He's been there, Steph Curry, this playoff. He's splashing threes, though.
He can be a third option, definitely. But yeah, that's what they need. And probably a big man than Gilbert.
Justin, thoughts on the Timberwolves? Just give your quick thoughts on the Timberwolves. What do they need to go to the offseason?
Yeah, I agree with Kane. They need a Robin. Julius Randle's not doing it.
Jamal Murray, maybe, if he leaves the Nuggets.
No, not Jamal Murray. No, not Jamal Murray. No. Maybe a Kobe White.
Ooh, Kobe White seems really good, man. But if he's on a cheap deal, I'd take him at the Celtics as well. I can't lie. I would take him at Boston as well. But I mean, I just think I agree with you guys. I think Ant-Man needs the second guy, because they trade away a second guy. They traded away Cat. Cat was the second guy, so they need to go and get someone of the ilk. Go and get like I don't know, like just someone that can score, someone that can help Ant out when he's struggling. You have a second guy. Whereas with the Celtics, Jason Tatum struggles, Jaylen Brown steps up. Jaylen Brown struggles, Jason Tatum steps up, or even both step up. You know what I'm trying to say? They need a duo that can support each other and build around Ant. Right? You trade away Cat for absolutely no reason. Because in my opinion, they could have made this game. They could have made this series a tougher series. They could have made it even tougher, bro. I can't lie. They could have made it tougher if they had got a second guy, or if they had Cat. It could have been much tougher than what you guys think it would have been. But all in all, I just think, yeah, they need a second superstar. They need a second star. Maybe not necessarily a superstar, but they need someone that can be in that team that can help Ant. Because Rudy Gobert is getting the rebounds. He's fine. He's not the issue. Julius Randle, I agree with you, King. Make him a third option. Or I don't know, man. I think the Timberwolves need a proper defensive guy, a defensive guard, because would you guys even say Ant is defensive? Because I think he's way more offensive than defensive.
They don't have a problem defensively. I think offensively is the issue.
Well, who would you guys think would be a good player? I was having Kobe White, yeah. Justin says Kobe White, but who would you think would be a good option for them if they had to go and, make trades now? And who would they trade for who? You know what I'm trying to say?
They should look at KD.
That's a bold shout. That's a bold shot. But then would KD want to go live in Minnesota at this age? He wants to go live in a Miami or, something.
He might want to go there for a couple of years, then move on. Give Anthony Edwards a chance to play with his idol.
Yeah, but they fought, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but on the court is on the court.
No, I hear it.
I guarantee that they'd relish to play with each other. They'd be perfect for each other.
Justin?
I have an opinion that might piss off some fans very much.
Say it. It's cool.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, that could work.
Would you take him back in Boston right now, though?
I would, but if they need a defensive guard, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, definitely. He's an option.
Yeah, he's a dog. He has to be. It could be. But anyways, I agree with you guys on this one. I just think they need like a second star and move on, man. They need some draft picks for the future as well. And just in case, if something goes wrong next year and they want to blow it up, they have draft picks to back it up. So they need that as well. Need depth as well off the bench. Dante DiVincenzo, very good player. Naz Reid, very good player. But they need more. And I think they need a second star. So yeah, I agree with you guys. But anyways, I am gonna close out, guys. There's over 19 of you watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to King's channel first, then sub to me. Get him to 100 subs by the next NBA season or whatever Premier League season. If any of your Premier League fans are watching, yeah, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Get him to 100 subs before the start of next season. Get me to 300 subs by the end of May, if you guys could. 25 of you. If there's 25 of you watching and you've not subscribed, head over to AN Sports on YouTube. The code the link is in the of the quote tweet, so go click that, or you can head over to YouTube and search it up yourselves. Head over to YouTube and search it yourselves. Big ups to you guys for hopping on. What do you guys got coming up? You guys have any shows? Anything on your way?
I'll be on here for Formula One. I'll be on
Yep,
Rasta Stocks as well at some point this evening and throughout the week going forward. So yeah, any NBA, Formula One football shows, yeah, on here or Rasta Stocks.
You'll be here for the F1. I guess we'll be here to preview the game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, definitely.
But when is game 1? Next week, right? Next Thursday, yeah.
I think so. That's what Justin said. Yeah, next week Thursday.
It's next Thursday.
Yeah, it's next Thursday. So if we can do like the preview between either
I will do
Wednesday.
We'll do Wednesday. How about that? Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Because like I mentioned to you on Discord, on next Thursday is my mom's birthday, and I don't want to be rude to her.
Big up to your mom every single time. Hope she's well. Hope she's blessed. I hope she has a happy birthday, and obviously yes, sending my best wishes to her always. And
I'll be available. I'll be available all day Wednesday because I have next week off.
No worries, bro. No worries. All good. Next Wednesday sounds good to me. F1 this weekend. Roland Garros. Champions League final preview will be up as well. Football shows, Premier League shows. You gotta hear United shows all on AN Sports. We'll be interviewing new fans. We'll be interviewing new people. Hopefully, some collabs with new YouTuber. We shall see. But keep it locked in if you want to see. If you want to see new collaborations with people. If you want to see shows, Premier League summer shows, transfer shows, even, and all the football talk. All keep it locked in sports. Wimbledon will be here. Wimbledon will be on this channel as well. Wimbledon's going to come. So Wimbledon will be here. Wimbledon will be here. We will be doing what do you call it? What's this summer as well? Club World Cup will be here. All the good stuff, guys. All the good stuff. But yeah, keep it locked in. Like, share, subscribe. Good luck to the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks, I guess you could say as well. For tomorrow's game. We're out. Peace. Go Celtics.